subconscious reprogramming, changing yourself from the inside out instead of the outside in. Understand that subconscious reprogramming is really tapping into your own consciousness that you exist in, and you're programming it to what you want to be and not what you're told to be, right? Because a lot of us form our identity around the outside, what we've been told, what we've been through. But in reality, you've always had control of who you are. If you don't know who you are, you'll be told who you are. You create the character. No one else does that. Subconscious reprogramming allows you to create your own character and change to who you want to become and not what others want you to become or what others told you to become or be, right? So how do we subconsciously reprogram? First, you need to become aware. If you're not aware of what to change, how are you ever going to change? I said this before, I'm going to say it again. You need to make the unconscious conscious and make the unaware aware so you can become aware of what you need to change. A lot of people do things and they don't even think about doing it. It's to the point where it's normalized. Negative things, destructive self-destruction is normalized. You need to see your flaws and not see through your flaws. A lot of people, most people, almost everybody has their flaws. It's a mistake until you perpetuate it again and again in sequences. It's called the samsara cycle. You need to become aware of what you're doing so you can actually incorporate a change. Like, if you're unaware to the fact you need a change, you'll never change. So it starts with awareness. When your awareness grows to the point where you can change what you don't like about yourself because you know what you don't like about yourself and you can see what you don't like about yourself, you're already 50% done. Now you need to find out what you want to become. You need to find out what traits you want to incorporate, and you need to start incorporating them. For example, if you want to be successful, if you want to be prosperous, if you want to be healthy, you need to start incorporating what someone who is healthy, prosperous, all these great things, you need to start incorporating what they would do, right? Because right now you're on the path of becoming what you want to become. So you need to start doing what you would do if you already became, so you already become naturally without any resistance, right? We're changing from the inside out, not the outside in, right? You're not gonna make a schedule of habits and then reform to back who you are in a week. You're gonna literally change your brain's functioning and thinking and processing to assess who you are and want to be, and you're gonna change it. You're gonna reprogram your own brain to become someone who you aren't. You're gonna become someone who you want to be, right? So step one, you're aware. Now, the actual reprogramming. How do I reprogram? You have to understand that there's certain things you can do to reprogram your own brain. That there's a couple of options, right? So first, meditation, right? You need to understand the luminosity and the transparency that mindfulness allows you to receive. Like in the Bible, it says, I retreat back into my prayer closet, right? When it's talking about the prayer closet, it's talking about your mind, right? Your awareness, the awareness you exist in. It's not talking about anything else. It's you think the Bible's telling you to go sit in a closet and pray? Like, I'm sorry. No, it's talking about your mind. It's a symbolic reference to your mind. So you need to retreat back into your prayer closet, and you need to start watching what you do, right? Because you are not your thoughts, right? You are not your thoughts, right? You don't create your thoughts. Your thoughts are channeled to you, right? So that's a whole different thing. I'll start getting into that too. But you do not create your thoughts. Your thoughts are channeled to you. So you need to observe your thoughts and not be dragged on a leash by your own thoughts, right? Because essentially, you're not even using your mind. Your mind is using you. If you're not the programmer, you're being programmed. and what you're being programmed by, we don't even want to get into. That's mysticism. That's next level. Right now, you need to just become who you want to become, and everything will align, right? So understand that you need to retreat back into your prayer closet. You sit down and you think. But when you're thinking, observe your thoughts. Don't think, but think. All right? It sounds crazy. If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. You know, some get it, some don't get it. It is what it is. I'm just helping the ones that are trying to get it, right? So you retreat into your prayer closet. Let's say you decide to sit down, you meditate. Now your thoughts are coming crazy, right? The old you, or the you that you're being right now, is in your mind, filling your head up with nonsense. If you endure the part of constant thoughts and you are able to sink in to the awareness of your own mind, that's where you can reprogram. All right? So I want you to look at it like this. Imagine your mind. It's an ocean, right? When you first sit down and you start breathing in and out and you're ready to meditate, the waves are rough. It's very rough, depending on who you are, depending on what you do, so you have to be mindful. The waves are very rough. It might be a fucking tsunami, right? It depends who you are, but again, you will always be able to change. But the waves are a tsunami. The longer you become mindful, the longer you focus on your breathing, you observe your thoughts, you sink, right? You're a rock, and you're going through the waves. The more you become mindful, you start to sink, right? You start to level out, right? You start to go deeper and deeper and deeper into your own mind. If you do that for 10 to 15 minutes, you don't even have to go that far. 5 minutes. You keep on practicing your mindfulness and you observe your thoughts. You don't become the thoughts. You sink. And when you sink, you will reach a point where it's black and it's you and your awareness. So understand that you exist within an awareness, right? You are not the body, you are the mind, right? The ego exists within the awareness, right? So the ego is your personality, right? And an ego is not what everyone deems it to be, right? If you look at psychology and look at the definition of ego from a psychological standpoint, right? Don't look at it from what all these people try to tell you it is. Go on Google and look up the definition, the psychological definition of ego, right? It's the egg that you exist in, right? It's the limitation of your being, right? So the moment you sink into the depth of your mind, you release the tension of the ego. You release the tension of yourself, right? By doing this, you relieve all the stress, the anxiety, all the negativity that formulates around your ego, and you really get into a state of soul. When you're in that state of soul, you have the power to reprogram your own brain. I want you to look at it like this. Your awareness is formless, right? Your ego is the box around your awareness, right? So imagine I have a formless awareness, visualize it, and there's a box formulated around my awareness. That box is your ego. But once you get mindful and you start sinking, you sink out of the box into the mind. When you sink into the mind, you can now change the shape of the box. You create your reality, you create your character. Everything else is a bias formulated around the truth, an excuse to be excused from the truth that I just told you. You create your reality and you create your character. Nothing else creates you or your character. Everything else is a bias formulated around the truth. So when you sink yourself into a deep level of consciousness, this is how you start reprogramming yourself. You start with affirmations, right? So for example, if I'm really rude, if I'm really kind, if I'm really a rude person, right? You're aware now, right? If I'm a really negative person, if I do certain things, I smoke, I drink, I don't like doing these things, I'm addicted, right? How do I change? Well, you start affirming to yourself that you've already changed. You literally, I am kind, I am prosperous, I am successful, I am healthy, I am the best version of myself, I am the higher self, I am the embodiment of superior conduct, I do not conform to lower standards of living. I am. You ferment these beliefs into your ego. You ferment these beliefs into your subconscious mind. You affirming these beliefs will be affirmed with your state of being and the actions you take and the way you think and feel as you carry on and you let the seed grow into a plant, and then from a plant into a tree, and then from a tree, the sky's limitless, right? As you confirm and affirm all these beliefs into your mind, you will start to reflect what you believe in. So you will start to become what you believe in because you believe you've already became, right? A lot of people do it inside out, right? They want to change the outside. They don't want to change the inside. They want to get rich. They want to be successful. They want to be healthy. They want to get big biceps. They want to do all these things, but they've never changed who they are deep inside, so they'll never be able to change who they are on the outside, right? Understand that the internal is what is really going to change the external, right? As within, so without. As above, so below. Let's say for years on end, I do nothing but eat couch potato, video games. I don't train. I don't do anything really productive. I just feed myself with comfortability. If I decide to go to the gym that same day, I've been doing this for years on end. It's a perpetuated sequence. My brain has adopted it as a habit. If I decide to go to the gym the next day, how long am I going to keep up? How long am I really going to keep up going to the gym? Not long at all. My brain is literally formed around being this person that I've been for the past year. And you don't even like being that person. You just do it because it's comfortable, right? Awareness. Remember, awareness. It's a process. You have to become aware of what you're doing to be aware that you can change. But I wouldn't last in the gym very long. And if I did go to the gym, I wouldn't push very hard either, right? But let's say I've been doing that for years on end, right? And now you do what I just said, and you start affirming to yourself you already do those things. I am healthy, I am fit, right? You start suggesting to yourself you are these things. I am fit, I am all these things, I am hardworking, bam, 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 bam. You get creative with it, right? With a week of me affirming these qualities and characteristics and traits within me, if I go to the gym, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to affirm what I've been speaking about. I'm going to affirm what I've been telling myself. You need to believe in it. If you believe in it, you will. If you don't believe in it, you won't. So this is your faith, right? Let's talk about faith. This is what your faith is really going to dictate. Your faith is going to dictate how far you get with your results. So I go to the gym and I affirm myself. That's a perfect example of what and how you're going to do this, right? So give yourself time to become, right? You affirm yourself. When you know you're in the mindset, start changing, start taking action. So you'll subconsciously do it too. You start feeling less for certain things you used to do, and you start thinking more for the things you actually want to become and do, right? Your brain can only build through positivity. So if you're fat, right? Just an example, I'm just throwing it out there. If you're fat and you want to get skinny, don't get into that state of mindfulness and pure consciousness and tell yourself, I'm not fat, right? Your mind doesn't work like that. If you confirm that you are not fat, you are instantly confirming you are fat. Because if you weren't fat, you wouldn't tell yourself you're not fat. You're just, I am skinny. But since you are fat, you are literally confirming yourself that you are fat by saying you're not fat, right? So don't build through negativity, build through positivity. Don't say you're not fat because at the same time, you're agreeing that you are fat. You know what I'm saying? If you weren't fat, you wouldn't say, I'm not fat, right? So that just is what it is. Instead, affirm yourself that you are skinny, you are fit, you are healthy. And then in a week's time, don't be surprised when you look at the bag of Doritos and you throw it in the trash. You don't even want it anymore. You don't feel like you want it. You don't need it, right? Your mind is literally changing itself. You don't even want it anymore, right? You're literally changing the brain processes that you have before you pick something up. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like you're literally reprogramming your own brain to conform around what you want to become and what you want to be. So only build your brain through positivity. Affirm to yourself that you are. Affirm through actions that you are becoming. Affirm through actions that you're becoming. And don't be surprised when you become and you are. Because all you're doing is affirming yourself. You've been affirmed to who you became, so now you just are, right? And that's how you subconsciously reprogram your brain to be who you want to be, and not to, you don't ask the question, what am I? You make the statement of, I am, right? So that's what it comes down to. Are you being told who you are, or are you actually being what you are, right? What you are, not who you, like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Figure it out.